Hi. I'm doing something a little bit different with the channel today. Never really talked in front of the camera before, other than my YouTube Shorts, of course, and my Instagram and TikTok. But, anyways, I figured that today is a special occasion because it has officially been a year since Superman 2025's release, and I bet you can tell that I'm a pretty big fan. Just from looking at my room. It's a movie that means a lot to me, and it has slowly become one of my favorite movies of all time. And the awesome thing is that I was able to interview Miss Neva Howell herself, the actress who plays Ma Kent. And let me tell you guys, she was so nice. She's literally the real life Ma Kent. I was pretty awkward and nervous throughout the interview, but she was reassuring me and encouraging me, all that stuff. She was just really nice. And she also gave a lot of lovely answers, even hinting at one scene in Man of Tomorrow that was so cool. It's so cool to hear that, because she did not talk about Man of Tomorrow at all with the other interviews I've seen, but she did give a tiny hint that I think some of you may like to theorize on later on. So you'll have to watch the interview to find out what she said. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the interview. Sort of forgot to record the introduction, so you're just gonna be thrown into the action immediately. But yeah, have fun. All right. Okay, I'm gonna start asking you the questions now.
Okay.
So let's just begin the first one. So today is 10 July, which means that Superman 2025 has finally reached its first anniversary. So throughout the whole year, was there any like fan interaction or story that a fan told you that has stayed with you over the past year?
Oh, I there are so many. It's hard to choose, but I'll go back to when it first came out, the first time that it happened. Um, our local theater here and had decided to have me come and do photos with the, community at the drive-in theater when Superman came there, and I was amazed at how many people came out. But when we were in the building before it started, one of the workers, maybe even the owner, I'm not I'm a little foggy on the details,
Mm.
but she came up to me and she had a t-shirt and
Oh.
she asked me if I would sign it a certain way. And I didn't understand what she meant, but what she wanted to do, her son had passed away, and he was a huge Superman fan. I believe he was in the military. And she wanted me to sign that for her grandson. And she was going to frame it and keep it for him. He was just a baby. She was going to frame that and keep it for him to gift him from his father with some other things that she had been saving. So I just thought, oh my goodness, this is so strong in people, this love of this Superman story. So I guess that was the first inkling I had of not just a movie. I mean, it's so
Mm.
much more in people's hearts.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. I think, yeah,
It
it's
was,
it's the magic of filmmaking, isn't it?
yes,
Hmm.
it's what it can be.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
these ideas, even though they're obviously fictional, they become really real things to people. And yeah,
Well, I think they represent something real.
yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely. Okay, on to the next question. So, if I recall correctly, you've mentioned in an interview before that in the scene where Ma Kent says the iconic line, I cleaned up your boots, I'll go get them for you. There was an extra shot of Ma Kent looking a bit worried for a few seconds before going to action and helping Clark. So I want to know, were there any other deleted scenes or like some small shots of Ma Kent and Pa Kent that we didn't get to see in the movie?
Well, there was an improv that we did at the end of the phone call that I really liked, and I wish that could have gotten in there because I talked about um, how he would come running in the house and saying, "What's there to eat?
Oh,
What's there to eat?" And
uh,
Superman doesn't have to eat, but he really loves to.
yeah.
So I was. a little sad that didn't make it in. And then there was in the bedroom scene, there was
Mhm.
a line that Pa and Ma exchanged about Mr. Terrific that
Oh.
I thought was very funny. I was talking about him being Pa's favorite because of the gadgets.
Uh-huh.
But when I look at that scene, I can understand maybe why they didn't include that
Mm-hmm.
because it was a little too comic. Um, James is very judicious with his comedy, and I think it might have diluted the emotional richness of that whole scene to
Mm,
have that suddenly in there. Or I don't know, maybe I didn't give him what he wanted on that line, or maybe he heard it a couple of times and thought, nah, doesn't work here. But
mm.
for whatever reason, that was cut. But they get most everything,
Oh,
which is
actually,
gratifying as an actor.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's really nice. One thing I thought about after watching the movie, I really wanted more Ma and Pa Kent because
So
they're
did
so
I.
sweet. Yeah, they're such a sweet presence.
You know, I will say for my first ever blockbuster role, I'm kind of grateful I didn't have to carry any more than I did. You know
Ah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't have to carry what David Cornsweet had
Mm-hmm.
on his shoulders.
Yeah,
You know, that would have been a lot. So it was probably just right, but you always want more.
true. Yeah, that's how it is. Okay. Yeah, sorry if I'm a bit nervous right now, by the way. I am
Oh,
very excited, so I feel like I'm
I don't
rushing a
think
bit.
you, it doesn't show, and I'm always nervous
Okay,
when I do these
that's
podcasts. So don't
that's
worry.
all
Well, I
right.
mean, it's not useful to say don't worry if you're
Mhm.
worried, but it's fine because I understand that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank
You're
you.
doing great.
I just needed to get that out there, just to get it off my chest. Let's move on then to the next
All
question.
right. All
Okay,
right.
now we're gonna go even more and back to the past again. From your first ever real inspiration for acting, which is the play you saw in a community theater. Is that right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah, decades ago. Yeah,
yeah.
long
So
time ago.
have you ever thought about how different your life might have been if you didn't see that play? Like, what would Neva Howell be today if she didn't see the play?
If I hadn't seen that play, I would have seen something
Mm,
that made me I think it was in me from an early age. Maybe I was born with it
mm,
because I vividly remember acting out songs for my family when I was very young.
ooh,
I would make the video as if like there's a song called about a ghost, and I can't remember how it goes, but it's "Ain't No Haint Gonna Run Me Away."
mm,
It's an old song. I acted that out as if I was running, and I did all the things. So I think I would have found it one way or the other. But if I hadn't seen it that moment, it would have probably been when I was sitting on a bench at a mall,
mm,
people watching. And I know that sounds creepy or stalky, but I used to love to just have popcorn or a drink and sit on a bench at a mall and watch people go by. And what I was noticing was their reactions, the way their bodies moved, how they responded to everything that was around them. And even then, I think unconsciously, I was gathering information
mm,
about what it is to be real in the world
mm,
and what that looks like in different situations. So I would have found my way here one way or the other. But
mm,
I think timing might have mattered. If I had seen that play at a different time, I suspect I might could have done more with it,
mm,
if that makes sense. I knew that I was curious about why I believed this actor, but I did not believe that actor. What was different in the way that they were playing their roles? I, at that time, would not have been able to pursue it.
mm,
It was just something that was stored back in my mind. But if that had happened maybe later, my career could have taken a stronger turn. I
Mm,
guess. It would not have taken as long as it has, maybe.
maybe.
But we're second guessing destiny here.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
happened how it happened. So I have to trust that it unfolded the way it was supposed to.
Yes, yes, yes. That's wonderful. Now, I'm gonna share a little bit about myself. So I am
Okay.
an aspiring filmmaker. I want to be a director in the future. So I want to know, since you have had a lot of experience working with multiple different directors, what do you think is the one thing that a great director does in order to make their actors or actresses feel safe and to get like the best performance out of them?
Well, I can tell you what the ones who are not great do.
Mm,
They don't make you feel as if you are welcome.
mm.
They I've worked with directors before where I felt like I was pretty much a prop.
Oh, yeah.
Go stand here, do your line, go get out. I've had those directors, and it's hard not to take that personally,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're just starting out. Or I've had directors who, I had one director, I had done this, we had rehearsed the scene two or three times. I had never seen him, never met him.
Oh,
So he comes out finally, and he comes to me and he says, "What are you doing in the scene?" And I
wow.
thought, well, where were you when I was doing it?
Yeah.
Why don't you know what I? But I showed him basically what I was doing in the scene, and he just stood there like this,
Uh,
and then he walked off.
wow.
And I was like, I guess it's okay. Or he would,
Yeah.
but that doesn't work for me.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
you I if you want me there, then let me know you want me there. Now, in contrast, I will talk about Joseph Morgan,
Okay.
the originals. Are you familiar with that? The vampire show, the
I
originals.
yes, I am familiar with that.
He plays Klaus, but he also directed the
Mhm.
episode that I was in, very small role. But he made me feel from the moment I got there, he came up, he welcomed me, and he grinned. He had a big grin on his face. He said, "We loved your
Mm.
audition." You know,
Yeah,
how hard
yeah,
is it to do that? To
yeah.
say, "We're glad you're here."
Uh-huh.
So for me, that's if you can put the actor at ease, the more quickly you can do that, I think the better flow there will be through the entire production. But if the minute you walk on, you feel as if you're in the way
Mm-hmm.
or really don't matter, then that's hard to deal with.
Mm.
Maybe it's an ego thing, but I also think it's a value thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you don't feel valued, then why are you here? But now James Gunn,
Mm-hmm.
he had all of the good stuff.
Mm.
I felt very welcome. I felt very valued,
Yeah.
and I felt at ease. However, you can get to the point where you put the actor at ease, you
Mm.
make them feel welcome, and you allow them. Another thing that's really good that I think the best directors do is they don't direct at first.
Mm.
They wait. What is the actor bringing?
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
They let the actor inform them, and then it's like, okay, that's great, but here is where it needs to move a little bit. The needle needs to move one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so giving that creative freedom and then directing, to me, makes a lot more sense than trying to tell the person who's walked in with their homework, they've done their homework, they have a way that they want to present it. Instead of seeing that and
Mm-hmm.
seeing, well, that works, they want to tell you immediately. And then you have to, in your mind, right before you shoot, make all these adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better to see what they have,
Yeah,
see
yeah,
what they
yeah.
brought.
Okay. Let's move on to the next question.
Okay.
So there's one thing I noticed while preparing for this interview is that you've been really generous with your time with creators of all sizes. And I think a lot of fans really appreciate that. Like me myself, I really appreciate that I'm getting the chance to have this conversation with you. And I want to know, why do you think it's important to do these kinds of conversations? What makes them special to you?
Well, for one thing, you're in Indonesia.
Yeah.
I'm talking to someone in Indonesia and Indonesian fans
Mm-hmm.
uh, who might not otherwise come across this interview or that interview are going to come across this one. So it broadens the reach of who I can communicate with and who I can connect with. And
Mm-hmm.
that's important to me. But even more important than that, I don't ever want to be the kind of artist who is only concerned with how this benefits me.
Mm-hmm.
If that ever happens, that this becomes more of a business than a passion, then I think I will have lost my way personally. I will have stepped off the path of my own integrity
Mm-hmm.
if that happened. I always want it to be about connecting with whoever wants to be part of this. And I think James Gunn did that with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm following his example. I certainly didn't have David Cornsweet's resume.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have the resume of hardly anybody that's in it. I was, until Superman, basically unknown, although I'd been filming for uh, 40 years and had had dozens of roles. None of them were talked about until Superman. So James did that. And his example is one that I would try to follow in how I extend myself to the world.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for that. Okay.
And
Last.
hello to
uh,
all the Indonesian fans.
Yeah, I'm sure they're very happy to see you.
I'm happy to see them, or will
Mhm.
see them
We'll see them
through
through
the
the
internet.
comments.
Yes.
So this is gonna be the last question. So obviously you can't tell us much about your next project, Man of Tomorrow, which we are all very
Nope.
excited. Yeah, but I want to ask something related to your acting choice. So nothing story related. During the
Right.
Superman celebration in Metropolis, which was 3 weeks ago, was that correct?
Oh, I don't know. I've
Some
slept since then.
not so
Not
long
too long
ago. Uh-huh. Yeah, you mentioned a certain song, Hands by Jewel. Uh,
Yes.
it informed a lot of your some of your acting performance as Martha in Superman. So since you're
Yes.
returning for Man of Tomorrow, has there been any other new songs that has helped you reconnect with Martha?
No, I think Hands is still her song. But
Hmm.
there was a moment,
Oh.
without giving anything away about what was happening in that moment, but it was intense. And there was this moment when I was thinking about it and rehearsing it,
Ah.
where another energy, the energy of a particular character, um, who would be well known to everyone, uh, suddenly just leapt into my body. Kind of, it was like it was
Ooh.
just there for a moment,
Okay.
just a moment. And I was amazed when, after we did the scene, James came out and he called it out. He said, "I
Oh.
love that," or
Uh-huh.
"That was great," or I forget exactly what he said, but he
Uh-huh.
named it. I said,
Wow.
"You saw that?" And then I thought, of course he saw it. He sees everything. So I hope that moment makes it
Oh,
into the film.
wow.
And maybe we can talk after it comes out if it does or it doesn't. If
Uh-huh.
it doesn't, I'll recreate it because it was that
Okay.
good.
Oh, that's really cool
It
to
was good.
hear.
And I hope that it doesn't get edited. But, you never know. You never know what's
Yeah.
going to be
I'll
kept.
I'll be keeping my eye out for that in the
Okay.
theaters.
Now, is it if it's left in? Yeah.
Hmm. Wow, okay. And about the song Hands by Jewel, I'm uh interested to ask, do you have any like personal connection with it? Like, yeah, any personal connection with the
Yes,
song?
yes. I would say from the moment I heard that song, I felt the value of it, that we are never broken. You
Mm,
know, so many times in life we feel, and I have felt, I won't get over this. I'll never survive this.
mm,
I'm broken. But we are not. We may be uh, feel that we are in every fiber of our being, but there's something bigger than that, something stronger than that, that we don't even realize we have.
mm.
And we think it has to be this grandiose thing, but you know, our hands are our own. This is our own.
Yeah.
That's what I get from that song. She says, my hands are small, I know, and they're not yours, they are my own.
Mm,
So we each have what is our own to contribute to the world. And I think
mm.
that's very valuable. And of course, that whole song is, you know, be kind.
Yeah,
Only
yeah.
kindness matters. So I think the whole song just spoke to me on so many levels when I first heard it. But I had not thought about it, you know, and, you know, it wasn't in the forefront of my mind
Mm.
when it came to me.
Yeah, yeah.
It just came in that scene when I was had my hand on his chest and I was pushing his hair back.
Mm.
And then I put my hand over Pa's hand. I heard, my hands are small.
Oh.
You
That's
know, I heard
yeah.
that and I felt that.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, and James Gunn, he loves to use music in his films, so who knows? He
He
might
uses it
include.
very well
Yeah, he
too.
uses it
Oh,
really
he might
well.
use hands.
He
Yeah, that
might.
would be, yeah, that
Maybe.
would be special.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd love to see that someday. All right,
maybe one day.
maybe one day.
James, you hear that?
James Gunn, please. We need this.
Yeah.
Okay, that brings us to the end of the interview. Thank you so much for your time, Miss Neva Howell. I hope you have a
Thank you.
great rest of your day.
Thank you, and you as well. I don't know what time it is there in Indonesia. Is it late
It
or
is
early?
it's 10:30 p.m.
Oh, 10:30.
Yes,
Okay.
not that
Gosh, so
late.
we're about 12, about 11 hours
11
apart.
hours. Yeah.
Okay. Well, have a good one.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye.
So, yeah, that's the end of the interview. Hope you enjoyed that. Miss Neva Howell, such a lovely person. Let's also talk in the comments, you guys. Let me know your thoughts on Superman 2025, if it's held up or not after a whole year. You can talk about Man of Tomorrow. What are you hyped for about it? If it's gonna be good or not, let me know. Cheers to Miss Neva Howell and cheers to DC. Have a nice day.